what happens when we get nervous, when we're faced with the uncertainty, is we go back to the last thing we were sure about, right? We go back to the last thing we knew. And most of us are promoting leaders because they were really good at executing on the teams they now lead, right? And so what ends up happening is that you see this behavior where people go back and they micromanage, right? Or they become less effective because they get themselves obsessed in this small piece that was their last known quantity. And that is not what we mean when we ask people to step into a role of leadership, right? When you talk about asking someone to step into that leadership position, you're asking them to take on the risk, right? You're asking them to lean in and say, no, this is the part the team doesn't have figured out, right? You're not here to project manage the team for the known. You're here to go chart the unknown, right? And that is the skill that I think is so critical to help leaders, especially young leaders, when they're making that jump to that next level, to learn how to practice, to do with you, to do with each other, and to hold each other accountable to stepping into that moment of leadership, to chart that course, to not relinquish that authority to lead there back over to somebody else, or to also, I don't know if you guys see this sometimes happening, where they'll be like, well, it's in a group, right? And then all of a sudden it's the groups to decide, which means it's no one's, right? Like, so then they there's no accountability. So it's like, well, I don't know. When was the group supposed to get back together and meet? I don't know. What was the deliverable? So, those are some of the techniques I think are even more critical at this moment for young leaders in general, right, across the board, to ensure that you lean into that leadership moment, lean into that opportunity to disambiguate and to keep accountability, especially in this time when there's so much uncertainty.